Yeah.
I'm just fucking you. I was trying to make you think I have all.
Factual thing that happened 3 years ago. I feel like you would kind of remember some stuff about it. Like,
Yeah.
Once we get up and walk out and we're done, we're done.
Welcome to the story of Charlene O'Banion, a not-so-by-the-book prison officer who turned the jailhouse into her personal love nest. It's a story of forbidden romance, featuring our leading lady Charlene and her jailbird beau, Jason Parker. Set in the corridors of confinement, where love notes replace contraband, this is a cautionary tale that flips the script on guarding hearts and inmates. In the hallowed halls of the prison, whispers swirled like a tornado in a teacup. The hot topic? Charlene O'Banion, the officer who allegedly turned the cell block into a love block. Rumor had it she was playing footsie under the table with inmate Jason Parker. Imagine seasoned officers exchanging glances, whispering, "Did you hear about Charlene and Jason?" Like high schoolers gossiping about the prom king and queen.
You got a lot of that head game. Oh, man.
We're notified of a possible improper relationship between you and Jacob Parker. So we're here for that, and I just kind of wanted to talk to you about it and get your side of that story.
I don't know anything about it.
Okay. Have you talked to him on any jail phone calls or anything like that?
No.
None at all?
These weren't just any rumors, they were prison grade, making the rounds faster than the jail's lunch cart. Charlene, known for her stern demeanor and no-nonsense pat-downs, apparently had a soft spot for Parker, a charming rogue with more charisma than a soap opera villain. It was the talk of the jail from the lunchroom to the laundry room. Whispers echoed off the walls. Is she? Isn't she?
And where would you think that this allegation would come from if there's nothing to it?
Well, I had a feeling this was coming. So there was an inmate named Coker, Justin Coker.
Okay.
He got out of here for, I don't know what period of time. And he tried to contact me on Facebook. He sent me a message and I blocked him on Facebook. And I guess one time Parker was going back to Pequot to use the bathroom and he was talking like at the window with me. Mm-hmm. And I guess Coker like didn't like that, which I had no contact with him or anything. And Parker had told me that he had gone up to him and was like, "Don't talk to her," or something crazy like that.
So
when the investigation began, Charlene O'Banion stepped into the interrogation room like a catwalk model strutting into a fashion show. But instead of flashing cameras, she faced a duo of detectives with notepads. An improper relationship with inmate Parker? Charlene gasped with the shock of a soap opera actress, her hand dramatically clutching her heart.
I don't know exactly how it started, like who it started from, but I was told that it was brought to somebody's attention, and then we looked at jail calls. And there's jail calls between you and Parker. And all that stuff's recorded. So I don't think you're being completely truthful. Well, I kind of know that you're not. And I'm not trying to be rude when I say that.
Yeah, no.
I'm just kind of trying to lay it out on the table for you. Mm-hmm. So can you kind of tell me what's going on here?
I guess a few years ago, we talked, and then I ended up here, and then he ended up here. I didn't know he was here. I didn't, it wasn't anything like that.
The detectives, armed with more skepticism than a conspiracy theorist at a UFO convention, probe further. Charlene, channeling her inner innocent bystander, threw her hands up in denial faster than a kid caught with their hand in the cookie jar. "Not I," she declared. "I wouldn't even recognize Parker if he was wrapped in Christmas lights." But wait, there's a twist. Enter Justin Coker, the alleged instigator of the rumor mill. Charlene painted him as the villain, the Iago to her Othello, suggesting he concocted this scandal out of sheer jealousy. "Coker," she sighed, "he's like that one reality show contestant who stirs trouble for more screen time." According to her, Coker was so green with envy he could have auditioned for the role of the Grinch. As the detectives dug deeper, Charlene's denials became more colorful than a Picasso painting. She spun a tale of a casual, platonic encounter with Parker, as innocent as a nun in a convent. "We just chatted, like old friends at a high school reunion," she insisted, batting her eyelids with the innocence of a saint. The more she denied, the more the detectives felt like they were playing a game of whack-a-mole with the truth.
Like sexual?
Well, I'm not saying having phone sex, talking about sexual acts. From what I'm listening to on the calls, I take it as that you've given him oral sex at some point, is what I gather from these calls.
No, that was like in the world, but we never dated. We just.
Okay. What kind of conversations have you had with him since you started working here and he's been in the jail?
Just talking about what would happen after he got out.
And then the jail call recordings, have you been talking to him like while you're at home? Like he calls you from the jail while you're at home, or? Okay.
As the interrogation continued, the detectives, with a glint in their eyes, played their ace card. What about the phone calls, Charlene? One asked, his tone dripping with more anticipation than a kid on Christmas Eve. Charlene, caught off guard, looked like she'd just seen a ghost, or worse, her internet history made public. The detectives revealed a symphony of recorded calls between Charlene and Parker, each one a melodious duet of incriminating chatter. Charlene's face turned 50 shades of red as she fumbled for an explanation. Phone calls? Oh, those were just, discussions about prison reform. She stammered, her excuse as flimsy as a paper umbrella in a hurricane.
I haven't listened to this, but apparently there may be some talk in the calls about like photographs. Have you given him any photographs?
Mm-mm. I gave him a photograph of his mom, which she had asked for, and of his dog, Jax.
Okay.
Yeah.
Have you given him any photographs of you?
Mm-mm. No, because...
So one of the things we're going to be doing is like looking at cameras and stuff too. Has there been any times where y'all were alone?
Mm-mm.
Or you go out of camera view or anything like that? Anything that's going to look suspicious that way?
I don't think so.
I mean, what is it?
I might have given him a blowjob in the back part of you.
In the back part of D quad? Okay. How long ago was that?
I don't know, a few months ago.
The calls, romantic and racy, were like listening to a soap opera podcast. Each recording painted a picture of a relationship that was less professional and more 50 shades of gray. Charlene tried to downplay it. We were just rehearsing for a prison theater project, she claimed, her creativity running wilder than a reality TV show plot. As the detectives laid out the evidence, Charlene's story crumbled faster than a cookie in a toddler's grip. She tried to swerve, dodge, and deflect, but with each recorded call, her denial sounded more desperate than a karaoke singer trying to hit the high notes. It was like watching a game of Jenga where every block was a shaky excuse, and the tower was about to tumble. In this comedy of errors, Charlene's attempts to maintain her innocence were as convincing as a wolf in sheep's clothing.
Baby.
Got that.
Baby, guess what?
What, babe?
I just won the blackjack game.
Yay.
I just won $30.
I got a lot of stuff to clean and get rid of before you come home. I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
I'm just fucking you. I was trying to make you think I have all these secret things.
Yeah, I bet you do.
What?
What?
What? What do you mean?
I don't know. You probably got this weird sex swing hanging from the ceiling. Kenneth probably thinks it's a swing set.
Oh, if I had that sex swing, you better believe I'd leave that sucker up for you.
Would you really?
Hell yeah.
You'd let me put you in it?
Yeah.
With a gag bar and everything?
When the detectives hit play on the recorded calls, it was like opening Pandora's box. But instead of unleashing evils, it unleashed cringeworthy flirtations and not-so-subtle innuendos. Charlene's face went through a rainbow of expressions from "I've been caught," red to "Please let the earth swallow me," green. As the recordings echoed in the interrogation room, Charlene's denials began to sound as convincing as a $2 bill. One moment she's all, "Jason who?" And the next, you could hear her voice cooing sweet nothings, making the room hotter than a jalapeno convention. The detectives, trying hard not to grin, looked like kids who'd just found their hidden Christmas presents. Charlene tried to play it off. "Oh, that we were just discussing. Prison cuisine."
It wasn't my best moments. I was just trying to get it done.
Meh, meh. Are you in bed?
Don't even get me thinking about that because it makes me so horny. Like just going back and thinking about
Yeah.
that.
It gets you horny?
Oh, yeah. You felt me. I was like soaking through my clothes.
Prison cuisine. But her excuses were as thin as budget toilet paper. The calls were a mix of rom-com and tragedy, featuring Charlene and Parker in starring roles. Their conversations, more loaded than a Thanksgiving plate, left little to the imagination. At one point, Charlene, in a voice dripping with more sugar than a candy store, talked about future plans. It was less orange is the new black and more 50 shades of gray bars. As the evidence mounted, Charlene Charlene's story unraveled faster than a sweater in a cat cafe. Her initial denials, once as firm as a concrete wall, now looked like a house of cards in a tornado.
I get very horny very easy. I always want to have sex.
Good.
Like, that's not even...
Not good.
I mean, it's not like I just, like, look at someone, I'm like, oh my God, I'm so fucking horny. No, like, of course, like, I only get horny for you.
You kind of see how that sounds from like my point of view, like a more recent thing than 3 years ago.
The moment of Charlene's confession was like the climax of a mystery novel, except the mystery was as transparent as cling film. With the evidence piled up higher than a stack of pancakes, Charlene's facade finally crumbled like a poorly constructed sandcastle. She let out a sigh that could deflate a hot air balloon, resigning to her fate. As she uttered the words of her confession, it felt like watching a magician revealing their tricks. The magic was gone, replaced by awkward reality. The detectives, who by this point could have moonlighted as poker players given their stoic expressions, exchanged glances that screamed, "Bingo!" Charlene's admission was less of a dramatic revelation and more of a resigned whimper. It was like watching someone admit they ate the last slice of pizza, guilty, but with a hint of it was worth it. The detectives, maintaining their professional decorum, tried hard not to look as triumphant as a kid who just won a game of hide and seek.
I just want you to look at me sometimes and be like, damn, my woman's fine.
Fine as wine.
Mm-hmm.
And you got a live ass fucking head game. Oh my God.
I find that hard to believe. Okay? This is your one chance to be honest with us.
Yes.
Once we get up and walk out and we're done, we're done. Have y'all had any inappropriate contact, whether it's groping, blowjobs, vaginal, anal sex, anything, hand jobs? Yes, I am being vulgar to get a point across.
Yeah, no, it's not. None of that.
The Charlene Parker scandal highlights a serious legal breach. Under federal law, any romantic or sexual interaction between prison staff and inmates is a major no-no. It's not just frowned upon, it's flat out illegal, guys. This is due to the significant power imbalance. A prison officer wields considerable authority over an inmate, which can easily lead to exploitation. This isn't just a case of bad judgment, it's a violation of the law. The Prison Rape Elimination Act, PREA, for instance, underscores the severity of such misconduct. This law recognizes the inherent vulnerability of inmates and categorically prohibits sexual relationships between inmates and staff.
Are we,
Like when I asked you who was there, him of course, like when y'all met or whatever, and then when I asked like who else, you said it was like a bunch of friends.
yeah.
But like you can remember one
I
chick's
was with
name
my
after
friend
you
Chris.
think about it for 30 seconds. So
Yeah,
that's not making sense to me.
You seem to have blanks in your memory when we get to certain details, but you remember being groped in the blowjob from 3 years ago. I find that hard to believe. Okay?
Regardless of consent, the rationale? In the prison environment, true consent can't exist due to the inherent power dynamics. This isn't just a workplace romance gone wrong. It's a serious breach of ethical and legal boundaries.
I'm gonna ask, but I feel like I know the answer. I'm losing my job.
So that's not really up to me. Internal Affairs is aware. Investigation is separate from ours because it's two totally different things. So
Yeah. What kind of charges? Like,
so it's illegal to have sexual contact with an inmate as an employee. So I said the ball kind of be in their court, but I'll let you know as soon as I hear something.
I mean, can I go to jail?
In the final act of this prison drama, Charlene O'Banion, the star-crossed prison officer, found herself swapping her uniform for inmate garb. Yep, she lost her job faster than a soap bar in a prison shower. Her romantic escapades landed her a 100-day stint as a guest in the very facility she once patrolled.
You talk about how profound this was, like just giving him this blowjob was, but you like don't remember anything about it. It's like telling me something, but you're having trouble coming up with details about it. You know what I mean? Like if it's that profound.
I mean, I gave him a blowjob. How do you describe the blowjob? I mean, is that
Well,
what
I
you
don't want
want
to
me
know
do?
like about the blowjob. I'm just
Yeah.
so if this is a
He just said
factual thing that happened 3 years ago, I feel like you would kind of remember some stuff about it. Like I
Yeah,
feel
I
like
mean, like we said in the car,
Talk about a career U-turn. It's like getting a speeding ticket at your own birthday parade. So, Charlene, once the keeper of keys, became the subject of gossip she once enjoyed. The irony? Thicker than the prison wall she's now behind. Remember, in prison, love doesn't just hurt, it incarcerates. Now our legal expert will also share his views on this.
Hey viewers, remember, in prison, mixing business with pleasure isn't just bad form, it's a legal no-go. It's like fishing in a no-fishing zone. Expect to get caught. So what's the lesson here? Love in the time of incarceration is a bad idea. This case reminds us that crossing professional lines can lead to a personal downfall.